All right. So someone sent us this website, and it's one of those make easy money online websites.
Yeah.
And this one's saying you can get like $500 Google Paydays
Okay.
just by using their system.
Yeah.
And it's got all the classic stuff like testimonials
Yeah.
and, those countdown timers that are like constantly ticking down.
Yeah.
It's almost like too good to be true, you know?
Well, I mean, the internet is full of opportunities, but it's also like full of these kinds of offers that are really kind of preying on that desire for, easy money.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we always want to be cautious, but this one really plays up the urgency thing.
Uh-huh.
There are like multiple timers on the website, and they're like warning you that the offer is going to expire soon.
Right.
It feels a little manipulative, doesn't it?
And it's like they want you to make a decision right now.
Right.
Before you even have time to like think about it.
Exactly. Like you don't have time to research or anything.
Yeah. And it's interesting how they use psychology to kind of like bypass our normal decision making.
Yeah.
That sense of urgency triggers FOMO.
Big time.
And that can lead to people making impulsive decisions.
Definitely. So, okay, they're playing on our emotions instead of logic.
Yeah.
That's pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
But what about like the system itself?
Okay.
They talk about some copy and paste AI system that like supposedly exploits Google every 60 seconds to make you money.
Every 60 seconds.
No, come on. Who wouldn't want to exploit Google for a quick buck?
Well, hold on now. There's a couple things we got to unpack here.
Okay.
First, that phrase, copy and paste AI system, is so vague.
Yeah.
They don't actually explain what this AI does or how it works. It's
Right.
all very like surface level.
Yeah.
It's a lot of buzzwords,
So they're hoping that like most people don't really understand AI.
All right.
And they'll just be impressed by the term.
Exactly. It's like a shiny object to distract you.
Yeah, okay. So the AI thing is already kind of setting off alarm bells. But then they go on to say that this system forces Google to pay you commissions.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't that sound crazy?
It does, because Google is the one who usually charges for advertising.
Exactly. Not the other way around.
Right. It's like saying you can force the grocery store to pay you to buy their products.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they're throwing around all this technical jargon to make it seem legitimate, but when you really think about it, it just falls apart.
Totally. So we've got these vague claims about AI,
Right.
these impossible promises about Google commissions, and a ton of pressure tactics.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bad feeling about this whole Google Payday thing.
Mm-hmm.
What else should we look at to figure out if this is legit or not?
Well, let's move on to the evidence they present to support their claims.
Okay.
Like those screenshots of supposed earnings and the glowing testimonials from users.
Okay.
That's where things get even more interesting. So, when you land on one of these websites, one of the first things you see are the supposed proof elements.
Right.
Like those bank account screenshots with the crazy figures and all those like super enthusiastic testimonials.
Yeah, like everyone's making tons of money.
It's like they're trying to show you that everyone else is already cashing in.
Right.
So you better hurry up and join before it's too late.
Exactly. But how much should we really trust those testimonials? Can we even be sure they're real?
That's the big question, right? It's so easy to fake this kind of stuff. Anyone can create a fake screenshot or write a glowing testimonial.
Okay, so even if some of them are real, they're obviously picking the best ones to show you.
Exactly. They're giving you the highlight reel.
So how do we know what to believe then?
Well, one of the best ways to cut through the noise is to look for independent reviews and testimonials from reputable sources. See what other people are saying on platforms that aren't controlled by the people selling the system.
So basically we need to do some digging outside of their marketing materials.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But even if the testimonials are iffy, what about the income claims themselves?
Right.
They always use specific numbers like $500 paydays or make $10,000 a month.
Yeah, and that's where you got to be careful.
Okay.
They tend to be very vague about the specifics of how you'll actually make that money.
So like they don't really say if it's a guaranteed income or just an average or what?
Right, they just throw out big numbers to get your attention.
So even if they use exact numbers, we still need to look for the context. Don't just get blinded by the dollar signs.
Exactly. But what about the people behind these systems?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you know anything about them?
Not really.
It's worth taking some time to research them.
Okay.
Look for their credentials, their experience, their reputation.
Like checking someone's references before you hire them.
Exactly. You want to make sure they actually know what they're talking about.
That's true. But what if you can't find any information about them? Like, what if they seem to have appeared out of nowhere?
That's a huge red flag.
Really?
In this day and age, it's pretty much impossible for a legitimate business or person to have zero online presence.
So if they're like a ghost online, that's a bad sign.
Pretty much. Okay, so let's say you've done your research.
Yeah.
And everything seems legit on the surface.
Okay.
The testimonials seem believable, the income claims seem reasonable, and the creators have a good reputation, but you're still hesitant.
Yeah, I think I'd still be a little nervous.
And that's smart because even with the best intentions,
Right.
there are always risks when you're relying on someone else's system to make money.
Like what kind of risks?
Well, one of the biggest risks is the lack of control.
Okay.
You're basically handing over your financial future to someone else,
Yeah.
often without fully understanding how the system works.
So you're at their mercy, basically.
Yeah, and what happens if they don't deliver on their promises? Or what if the system stops working?
That would be bad.
You could be stuck with a useless product.
And no way to get your money back.
Exactly.
Okay. But even if this system does work, isn't there a risk of becoming too reliant on it?
Absolutely.
Like, what if it suddenly disappears or stops being profitable?
That's a great point. You know, a lot of these done-for-you systems, they push this idea of passive income. Like, you can just sit back and watch the money roll in.
Right.
But that's not really how it works.
No.
True financial security comes from building something sustainable that you understand and control.
So even if this done-for-you system works for a while, it's important to learn and develop your own skills.
Exactly. Don't just rely on someone else's system forever.
That makes sense. But going back to this copy and paste AI system, they're really hyping up this AI angle.
Right.
But they never actually explain what it is or how it works.
It's very vague, isn't it?
Yeah. Why are they being so secretive about it?
Well, there are a few possibilities.
Okay.
Maybe they're just using the term AI as a marketing buzzword. You know, they're hoping that most people will be impressed by it without asking too many questions.
So it's like saying a product is all natural without actually explaining what that means.
Exactly. But there could be another reason for their vagueness.
Like what?
Maybe they're intentionally trying to hide something.
Oh.
If they actually explain the system in detail, it might become clear that it's not really using AI in any meaningful way.
So they're dressing up a regular product in a fancy AI costume.
You got it. But how can we tell the difference between real AI and marketing hype?
Yeah, that's a good question.
One of the key things to look for is transparency.
Okay.
Legitimate businesses that use AI are usually happy to explain how their systems work.
So if they're being evasive about the AI, that's a red flag.
Exactly. But what if they do provide some information about the AI? Then you need to evaluate whether it's legitimate or not.
How do we do that?
Well, it helps to have some basic understanding of AI.
Good.
Look for evidence of specific AI techniques being used. Things like machine learning, natural language processing, or computer vision.
Yeah.
See if they explain how they're using these techniques to solve the problem they're claiming to solve.
So it's not enough to just say it uses AI.
Right. They need to show you the
It's
details.
starting to feel like I need a degree in online skepticism to stay safe these days.
It can feel overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
But with a bit of knowledge and critical thinking, you can avoid these kinds of schemes.
Okay, so we've talked about the claims, the testimonials, the creators, and the AI.
Right.
What else should we look at with this $500 Google Payday offer?
Well, they keep mentioning all these bonus products.
Oh, yeah.
And a money-back guarantee.
Should we take a closer look at those?
Absolutely. Let's dive into the fine print.
All right, so let's talk about these bonus products they're giving you.
Okay.
It's like done-for-you setup, weekly live Q&A sessions, a quick start guide, even access to like an exclusive online community.
Oh, wow.
They're putting a pretty high price tag on these bonuses too.
Yeah.
Like they're saying it's worth thousands of dollars.
It's a smart strategy, isn't it?
It does seem like a good deal.
They make it seem so irresistible.
Yeah.
It's all about creating that perception of value.
Right.
Make you feel like you're getting something special.
But are these bonuses actually worth anything?
That's the question.
Like a quick start guide seems pretty basic.
Yeah.
And how much value can you really put on access to an online community?
A lot of times, those bonuses are pretty generic.
Okay.
They might sound impressive, but they don't really help you succeed.
So it's more about the marketing than the actual substance.
Exactly.
But what about the money back guarantee?
Okay.
That's going to offer some protection, right?
It seems like it, but you got to read the fine print.
What do you mean?
Often there are all sorts of conditions and limitations
Oh, really?
that make it really hard to get a refund.
Like what?
Well, they might require you to complete certain tasks
Uh-huh.
or achieve specific results within a certain time frame. Or they might have a really short refund window.
So you don't have much time to decide.
Exactly.
So even with a money-back guarantee, there's still risk involved.
Yeah, it's not a foolproof safety net.
It seems like they're trying really hard to make this offer seem legit and risk-free.
They are.
But the more we dig into it, the more problems we find.
Exactly. We've seen the pressure tactics.
Right.
The vague claims, the iffy testimonials, the inflated value of those bonus products.
And the limitations of the money-back guarantee.
This whole system relies on manipulating your emotions.
Yeah.
It's just not transparent.
So what's the takeaway here for our listeners? What should they keep in mind when they see offers like this online?
Well, the key is whenever you see an offer that seems too good to be true, especially one that promises easy money with little effort, you gotta be skeptical.
Don't get blinded by the shiny promises.
Exactly. Do your research, ask questions, look for independent verification.
Before you invest any money.
Right. Real opportunities don't rely on hype and pressure tactics.
They're built on hard work and real value.
Exactly. Don't fall for the easy path to riches.
Because it usually leads nowhere.
Well said. You got to put in the effort.
Yeah.
And develop your own skills.
And always remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Absolutely. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep asking questions.
That's the best way to avoid scams.
Got it.
Well, that wraps up this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out our other episodes for more on critical thinking and online skepticism.
And remember,
stay informed, stay empowered, and keep learning.